Okay, we are live. Our first legit live stream, I think. And I don't know how to do reveals. So I'm joined by Antony, as always, and
Hello.
Trevor from
Hello,
Oscar
hello.
Buzz.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm live a lot.
Yes. You're the expert when it comes to this
No.
field. At
Well,
least more so compared to me.
well, the Oscars.
Yes, the Oscars. Those happened last night. I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah, so these things happened. I
Yeah.
didn't sleep at all last night.
I didn't sleep very well.
I haven't slept since Sunday morning when I woke up at like 8 a.m.
It's like a full week.
A petition that daylight savings never fall on Oscars.
Right before the Oscars?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. So I'm running on. Yeah, I've been awake for like nearly 40 hours. But we're good. The adrenaline's still pumping.
Yeah. The Oscar season officially over, and we're here to talk about all that.
2024 started.
Yeah, well, 2024 is going to start soon. That's like later in the
Pace
week
yourself.
Kind of thing,
Pace yourself.
Later. We also got Emmys too.
Yeah,
we got plenty of stuff coming. But
absolutely.
What were your guys' thoughts on the ceremony as a whole? The hosting, the pacing, presenters, all that stuff.
I thought the show itself was pretty good. I thought Kimmel's opening monologue was pretty great, and I think he walked the line of like, being topical and a little curt with the audience, but also obviously caring about the movies. I thought, I feel like whenever we do the let's honor the movie that didn't get nominated type of thing, like Janelle Monáe, she's the thesis statement of when she did all those like dancing, like Queen and Slim dancers, and that opening number from 2020 will be forever seared in my mind. So I always get a little iffy when they do it, but I think just to mention them, I do think he did it very tastefully with mentioning Till and the Woman King. I thought his jokes were funny. I like that we didn't do like too many like pointless bits. Like they did like the asking questions in the audience thing that Malala came prepared.
Didn't really work, but yeah.
So
hey, at least they didn't hide under a table. So
there were no tables to hide under. Yeah, maybe she would have if there were.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do that. Matt Damon was in Cocaine Bear. I thought that was going to be the bit. I was surprised. I was like, that showed a little bit of restraint, I feel, on the producers of the Oscars.
Yeah. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. Like I didn't hate. I went into it thinking I was going to hate it. I didn't. Yeah. So like that's a win. Kimmel was fine. Like he was inoffensive for the most. Well, I shouldn't say that. He was fine. I think it like. Will I remember any of the bits?
But they weren't really bits. He had.
He just kind of said things that went in one ear, went out the other. They just kind of happened.
Which is what I think we build up. We don't need a Chris Rock level Netflix special comedy. We just need him to like keep the room moving, and I think he did that.
That Babylon joke was a little bit nasty. I will say
it was. Yeah,
that was I did not need that Babylon erasure.
That and losing all of its categories, not a good day for
that hurt a little bit. I'm still haven't really processed that it lost score. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We need to mention, because I mentioned it last night on Oscar Buzz. But I need to talk to the graphics team, because whoever thought the transparent images,
they were not good.
It was so bizarre. It was so odd. And like the choices they made, like when Kiwi Kwan won and they had the picture of him on the side. And I've been a fan of like that type of style of like putting the pictures on the side. They did that for the Emmys, I think in 2021. And it was great because you got like the full name and you got a picture, but they picked the picture of him when he like dies once in one
blood
of the,
coming out of his mouth.
Multiverses and blood is, I was like, what? Why is
the whale? The makeup picture for the whale.
Why scene? Like, why is that? Yeah. So the graphics team, it really felt like they forgot that they needed to do.
I thought they were pranking
until
everyone.
Like 6:30 p.m. last night, and they were just rushing.
Yeah. The graphics weren't good. I think the show itself was it was okay. It was kind of like a typical Oscars show. I don't think it was anything too special. I think it can still be better paced. I think that's why streaming is better, as William brought up. I said yesterday, SAG I think is still easily the best awards show that we've had this past season. I thought best paced. I mean, there were no commercials, so that obviously helps.
Okay.
The presenting I thought did better. I think everything.
What's this?
Yeah, that is a choice, and that's during the makeup
Oh
one,
my
is it not?
god.
Yep.
Well, that just goes to show, and we'll get into this later, that the whale
about
that
makeup,
shouldn't have
not
happened
hair.
because the whale shouldn't have won that category. I think SAG though has benefited. I believe it has fewer categories, and I also think that you
Yeah.
get the fun thing of like film and television. You get a different type of, you're not hearing everything everywhere all night. So like, I think SAG had the benefit, but I do think we should be. I mean, ABC should be looking into Disney Plus potentially being incorporated into the future of the show. The ratings were up, I think, like 21%. They were up, I think, 2 million viewers, which is great. And I think that kind of just shows that there was just more interest in movies this year. Yeah, I think overall, what I liked is that we didn't play anybody off. I thought we got some really great speeches.
Well,
No
that's
famous
not true.
people. We played
played
not
off
famous
one
people.
makeup.
people.
Yeah.
VFX and sound. And I think also during the documentary category, there was someone who wanted to speak.
Yeah.
They only don't play off famous people, sadly.
Sarah Polley kind of got played off. The Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was anything egregious that we've seen in like the past. Because in the end, I feel like every team got to speak. It wasn't like
that one was bad.
Yeah. After VFX team, when she walked up and was like, "I'd like to thank our fan." Dun, 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 dun.
And then it cuts to like Jimmy Kimmel making a joke.
Yeah. No, it cut to the aisle thing after that when he went out into the audience.
Yeah.
They cut.
Oh, that was then.
The audience.
This is the problem when you have to keep up with Twitter and family members who you're the point person, as if I'm in the room in the Dolby Theater. So some of these, you're distracted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was a fine ceremony. I was pleasantly surprised. Like it definitely wasn't perfect, but like it felt like the Oscars again.
Yeah.
So
you got to go back to Parasite to get an Oscars that went off without a hitch. That was a funny joke, by the way.
It was. That was a good
joke. Like, I think he made a lot of jokes with the slap, but I mean, none of them landed they didn't land with a thud like I feel like they have.
Yeah, they weren't as bad.
I don't think he ever directly named Will Smith either. I think he just alluded to it.
Yeah.
So that was that too.
So, yeah, it was a fun night. I like
Halle Berry thing paid off. The Halle Berry thing paid off.
It was a risk, but it did pay off, and it made for some great
Jessica
photos.
Chastain with her, which was smart. I was like, good. Yeah. And they had her.
Still would have been awkward.
Yep, the first Asian woman to win Best Actress, the first Black woman to win Best Actress, and the first Jessica Chastain to win Best Actress.
Yes, she is the first Jessica Chastain.
But that showed growth that they didn't have Halle Berry go out
by
her
herself. They showed a bit of restraint.
Yeah, but that was. I mean, again, we'll get into this. It was such a beautiful moment when you could see the joy in Halle Berry's eyes that Michelle Yeoh won, and that because I've been in the room when she's talked about her legacy and how I think it was unfortunate to her that was her legacy, that no other woman of color had followed her, and I think I think many people were happy with Michelle Yeoh's win, but I think her in particular you could see. But yeah, show overall. Set design was a little weird, but again, it was traditional, and I think we needed a traditional Oscars. And in the end, I think Trevor and I are pretty happy with most of these winners. I think Jack is a little bit more.
I'm happy with most of the winners. There are some ones that I just really don't like that kind of bring it down overall.
Both of the whale wins annoy me.
Those are the ones.
But listen, I'm not mad at Brendan Fraser. Okay, I'm happy for Brendan Fraser, the guy.
Person.
I think Brendan Fraser winning an Oscar, that is a good Oscar win, not for a good performance.
No.
And and I was talking about I think there's a distinction between what makes a good Oscar winner versus what makes the best performance. Because I would argue that I do think that Cate Blanchett gave the best performance in the lead actress category. Michelle Yeoh far and away would have been the best Oscar winner. Yeah. Cate Blanchett wouldn't have been as good of an Oscar winner as Michelle
this year. Well, because it's
for this year. Yeah,
it's the thing of I've said before, La La Land is my favorite movie of all time, but I think Moonlight should have won Best Picture, and I think it just goes to say what the award represents is different. And I feel like if you're voting, your favorite should come into play, but at the same time, what you're doing something that is going to represent an industry, it's going to represent an art form. And to me, what I love about most of these winners, even somebody like Brendan Fraser, who's in a movie that I really didn't care for, is that all of these winners, I truly feel their careers changed overnight because of this award. They're going to get more opportunities. Even people that are names like Jamie Lee Curtis, I think this gives them a level of prestige that I'm happy for, because it means we're only going to get more exciting work from them. And I also think what won, we're going to get into supporting actress, but the fact that that type of role that Jamie Lee Curtis plays was given that sort of Oscar prestige or veneer, it makes it more exciting that you don't have to go. I feel like we're getting to the point where Oscar bait is starting to fade away. You're not seeing Empire of Lights, those type of movies do really well. You're seeing these small Sundance movies like Coda or something crazy like Everything Everywhere, and to me that's exciting.
Give me Bottoms next year. Emma Seligman, give her an Oscar nomination.
We can only dream, but I don't know.
Hey, you want Barbie? Let's put all the focus on Barbie.
Bottoms is getting raves. MGM picked it up, which is kind of a bad thing, but also a good thing.
Very bad.
No, it's better than Utopia, which had Shiva Baby.
It is.
We have a chance. Yeah. Give me this dream for the moment. Okay?
Yeah.
It's getting an 85 on Metacritic or something. Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
It's doing well. It's doing well. I'm fine with the winners. If you want to award what is you think is objectively the best, that's what critics groups are for. National Society of Film Critics, right? That should be theoretically what the Critics' Choice is for, as far as a big televised ceremony that does that. Unfortunately, they're worse than the Oscars. But I think for the Oscars, it's a representation of where the industry is. It is a time capsule that you can look back on this is the state of the film industry in that year. That's why it annoyed me so much when they extended the 2020 period, because if because of COVID, we didn't get some of these extra movies. Okay, so that they shouldn't be allowed to represent 2020 as part of this time capsule of what 2020 was for cinema. If 2020 didn't have that many movies come out because of COVID, that's the time capsule of 2020 for cinema. That's what the Oscars should serve as. And I think that this year, even though Brendan Fraser and The Whale, one of my least favorite Best Actor winners of all time, as far as merit, I think that he makes a very good Oscar winner to represent this year and where the industry is at the moment.
Yeah, and I said it last night with you guys too, and I'll repeat it here. Even though I think its handling of its subject material was very poor, if this incites a response as far as leaning into telling stories with overweight characters and overweight actors, I'm all for that. I think, again, The Whale was a very problematic messenger as far as telling that story. Yeah, but
that's putting it lightly.
Yes. I'm trying to be respectful. I know we have Whale fans in the audience.
We do.
So, but again, if that's what that win does, I'm happy with it, and I'm also happy for Brendan Fraser, because I don't think I think they mentioned this on The View maybe this morning. I can't remember, but it's been talked about. We don't talk enough about men who have had a lot of these issues within the industry. We talk a lot about women in Me Too, and of course we should. But I also think we've missed a little bit of this conversation, and Brendan Fraser represents that. So again, when they said his name, I was makes sense. Very happy for him.
I accepted it at that point. As soon as it went makeup, I was oh, okay.
And then Elvis lost costumes.
I was the calmest about that category of any category of the night. Obviously international VFX, but I just because I personally wasn't really passionate about either of them. Jack, I know you were big on the Butler thing. Listen,
I'm not passionate about his film or performance. Yeah. I was passionate about Fraser not winning, and he was the closest bet.
But I don't know. I didn't really care for either of the films or the performances. I mean, my favorite of the year, Paul Mescal, was never even going to come close to being.
Also, is it Mescal? Have we been mispronouncing his name?
I don't care.
Is it Keegan? Is it Logan? Is it Fraser? Is it Fraser?
He gave the best performance. I can call him whatever he wants because he gave the best performance of the year, or he can call me whatever he wants. I don't know. We need to develop our call me. It's.
Yeah, Paul. Paul.
Better call Paul. But yeah, I don't care. If Fraser wins, cool.
Yeah, I'm happy for him as a person and as an actor. He's a great actor. He's very deserved. It really just comes down to the film and the performance. But people have won for films I didn't like and performances I didn't like before. Yeah, and I'm happy for him. Someone else already mentioned the other acting win that I'm not a huge fan of.
What did you call me because I was predicting this for the last 3 weeks?
I don't recall that.
I don't
Do you-
know.
do you-
I don't know.
Is it
You-
a goofy goober?
Was it a
I made a
goofy goober
SpongeBob
because you're an 80-year-old British woman? Was that what you called me?
That's not.
Because-
That's a SpongeBob reference. That's a modern reference. Is what that
Basically
is.
the same thing.
I don't know if
So-
that's a modern reference. Goofy Goober was like 2005.
If you don't know Goofy Goober, you didn't have a good childhood.
I was
is my
born in
conclusion.
2005.
or their childhood was later.
Then, if you're not growing up with SpongeBob, I don't
All
know
right,
what you're
so
doing.
why don't we get into, because I think we're skirting around the topics.
Yeah,
Why don't
we
get-
can-
get into the
Yeah.
wins.
So you were all wrong about supporting actors as the topic.
We can start with supporting actors.
Agreed
no,
with you, Trevor.
did I convince you?
Yeah, so okay, that is one change I made after Jack and I filmed. So I made two
I made a
changes
few
after we
changes, too.
filmed. And they were both Everything Everywhere changes. Jamie Lee Curtis for supporting actress, and best film editing. And the reason why I lean Jamie Lee Curtis, Trevor obviously was, that was like you were banging the drum at the last minute. But what it dawned on me on the morning of yesterday was that she was Laura Dern. And I just had never clicked in my head. Like, she was the daughter of two famous actors who had never won. She wins for the family. She's in a Best Picture nominee. And she does, I think, she gets limited screen time. But I do think because of her stature coming into the movie, there's respect and there's awareness for her. So it just clicked in, and I was like, yeah, she's gonna win. Because I think the thing that held Carrie Condon back is just they didn't know who she was.
Nobody knows who she is. Again, I made this argument the whole time. I'm going to say one last time.
Mhm.
Carrie Condon, nobody knew who she was. Nobody cared about voting for Carrie Condon. Angela Bassett, nobody cared about the movie that she was in. Nobody cared about we're going to give Black Panther Wakanda Forever an acting Oscar. Everything Ever All at Once. We're going to we like that movie. We like that movie here, obviously. Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, I know who that is. SAG hasn't missed supporting actress since 2007 when the Oscar winner is nominated. She had
That's
the precursor,
crazy.
she had the narrative, she had the movie. Okay, SAG and supporting actress is the longest running streak for any precursor in any acting category when the eventual Oscar winner is nominated. I was not going to go against that. Okay,
it made total sense. I was just stubborn because I think she's easily the number 5 in that category. I wasn't going to predict her to win. Once again, like with Brendan Fraser, I'm happy for her. She always gives great speeches.
Yeah.
She seems very appreciative.
In my opinion, she gave the speech that I'm going to remember the most. I think that line of
Yeah.
"We just won an Oscar," her thanking her fans who supported her since 1978 with the genre performances, and then ending it with her parents. It was a great speech, and I think she saved herself from some of the backlash. But I also
quite a bit.
because this is the thing, and we talked about this with the nominations, but this idea that she came out of nowhere at the last minute, like she Andrea Riseborough this
No.
situation, I think this just shows that there are so many award shows that we believe false narratives. And listen, Angela Bassett is wonderful, but just because she won Golden Globes and Critics' Choice doesn't mean that this was hers. And then out of nowhere, Jamie Lee Curtis took it. I don't know. She's a wonderful talent. She was great in the movie. It was an unconventional role. The fact that it was a big surprise, I think, was just because maybe SAG happened later than normal.
Thomas and I were predicting Jamie Lee Curtis in December. We always thought that this kind of maybe made sense for all of these reasons.
It does make sense, yeah.
If Everything Ever All at Once is the sweeper that we think it is, plus she has the narrative, it just kind of made sense in such a open category. If there's an open category and there's no sweeps, your best bet is usually to go for the best picture movie, the movie that they like the most.
Yeah.
What frustrates me about it is I don't think there's really a single person who voted for her who was voting based on her performance.
Oh, absolutely not. She's 4 or 5 in merit as far as
I don't see. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of people that were really impressed that she took this crazy. I mean, the whole movie, she takes this crazy character that is so over the top, and by the end of it, she's part of the reason why you're crying. I mean, the thing with Michelle Yeoh and the hot dog thing, she is the hot dog finger. She's one half of that couple. And when she's vaping outside the laundromat, I think that they're very nice.
They are.
But I do think people were impressed, and I also think it's seeing her in a different light. She's the final girl. She's this I think often she plays more serious characters in the movies that we love her for. She's the mom in Freaky Friday. She doesn't get to, that's why I think Freaky Friday is, I think, fun for our generation, is because she was playing Lindsay Lohan. She was having fun. So you look at this movie, I do think that people were looking at this category and maybe were the most surprised by Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. And because they had already known her, it contributed to that surprise. I do think some people voted for her on merit. Definitely.
That's fair.
Minority, I would say. But I also do want to bring up Angela Bassett. Oh, that was the wrong thing.
Did not give
We answered that question.
Not actually, yeah, not Jamie. Angela Bassett probably would have won if she wasn't in an MCU movie. She was in a movie that was in Best Picture and had more passion. People have been kind of making a big deal about her reaction to not winning, which I don't understand. She's already lost before. She was going into earlier this season, being the front runner, expected to win, and then being overtaken by that performance of all performances. I think she has every reason to react the way every performer has a reason to be upset.
Oscar too. I would be happy. I mean, I get upset.
Would it be Stephanie Hsu who was like,
"Wah!"
She was a great
upset
reaction
on behalf of people who have never even met when they lose Oscars. Okay, I would be upset, especially if I was expected to win. Like, yeah, sure.
So listen, I also think that we always love doing this and like, oh, this is what she is. She's thinking about this. I'm not a fan of like projecting onto people's reactions. I think you can maybe say that she was disappointed and that she was sad.
Okay.
Which is
she looked upset, which is.
But also, like, it's like what happened when Olivia Colman won and people like reading in, they were doing like dissecting it like the Zapruder film, and they were like, oh, Lady Gaga says, oh my God, like she was really upset. Like, listen, it's an award show. I'm sure Angela Bassett was prepared for the fact that she might not win. It's not like this isn't the most shocking Oscar, category. So.
No.
Okay, I will say, if we to do some brief reaction analysis, there were some very fun moments. My favorite was when Michelle Yeoh won and Anna de Armas went yup and nodded her head.
That was really?
Yeah.
She looked very happy.
She looked up like this and she went yup. It was very, very funny. It was weird. Kate Blanchett looked like the least happy, but again, we don't want to read into that. Carrie Condon's reaction was very funny in supporting actress. As well, I thought that hers was funnier than Angela when she went, "Oh, wow."
She was like, "Oh."
Well, Carrie, as I said last night, Carrie had the type of like she had the reaction you would have, and then realized she was on national television. She was like, "Oh my! Oh wait, I have to clap."
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Well, my reaction was like, but
that was Stephanie Hsu's reaction, who had the best reactions of every category.
Stephanie Hsu needs to join us for Oscars reactions next year. She has so much energy.
She was crying after like everything.
Oh, so was I. I think somebody brought up in chat favorite win from each of us.
Oh yes, let's go to that.
And I will say, for people who are upset about Stephanie Hsu not winning when Jamie Lee Curtis does, and comparing the performances from the same movie, I think Stephanie Hsu is your Florence Pugh of this year. The nomination is the win. She gets this sort of awareness, and now she's going to have a great career, and she can do whatever she wants.
I mean,
hopefully not David Byrne. Hopefully that's not the future. We'll get into the performance.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy Stephanie Hsu got nominated.
Yeah.
What were your favorite wins?
Play a video for mine.
Oh,
I know what you're gonna pull up.
I have a feeling.
So this is adapted screenplay.
Yeah. I think the all quiet suspense really added to that.
Yeah, listen, I mean, if you guys, I do the YouTube thing as well on Oscar. Antony was there for part of it at the end, and I had to take intense therapy sessions with Thomas. After All Quiet on the Western Front, when production design and score back to back, not only one beating Babylon in both categories that it should have won.
Yeah.
2, making me very scared that All Quiet was going to be women talking, and 3, putting that evil doubt in my mind that Everything Everywhere All at Once might have a slight chance of losing Best Picture. Okay, it made me spiral out.
It's so stupid of us to think that.
Oh,
but
it's so
still thought
stupid.
it. Like Jamie Lee Curtis had already won, and we were still doubting.
But
because it was like
spiral. So
I was like Everything Everywhere won like the first 2 categories early on, and there was like a solid 30 or 40 minutes where All Quiet won like 3 or 4 categories back to back,
and we
kept hearing
like,
burn,
if it was in a different order, then we wouldn't have felt that way. But like it was so weird.
Yeah, to me, like more than Jamie Lee Curtis, like All Quiet, in my opinion, that was like my least favorite score of those 5. Like that one to me, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I
It was
wasn't a
3
huge fan.
notes. And listen, I get it. John Williams won for 2 notes with Jaws, but still, I didn't get the appeal of that score. And I saw it in theaters. I didn't see it at home too. So I felt the score the way it was intended. I don't get it, but
I wasn't a huge fan of the film in general, so I'm not
No, me
really a
neither.
huge fan.
I mean,
of it
listen, they
with
should have
any
just
of
put
those
the
categories.
Babylon score to All Quiet.
I saw that video. And honestly, I was more engaged seeing that video with the Babylon score.
Oh,
than I
same.
was
They
with
should
the
just do
actual
this.
score.
But
Right.
I agree, though. I think Sarah Polley's win might have been my favorite just because I love her. I love this
Yep.
movie. It was objective. I don't like saying objectively with art, but I feel like
No, it is.
it
With
was
that
such a
category,
great
yes.
screenplay.
Literally, what
she made
else?
a great speech. I
Yep.
think because Everything Everywhere, I think we kind of like expected, and all of those winners have gotten like a chance to give a speech. I feel like for the most part on television or on camera. Sarah Polley really hasn't gotten that. So I love that she finally got her moment, and to see her like hug Jessie Buckley and Rooney Mara, it was a great moment. I was very happy that Women Talking was not one of the 5 Best Picture contenders to go home without a single Oscar.
Yeah.
Which that is
Thankfully.
crazy.
That's actually insane. Oh, also, the more insane thing is that 4 of the 5 Best Director nominated films.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every
That's
single
what
Best
happens when one
Director
film
nominated film
sweeps.
except for Everything Everywhere didn't win an Oscar. Fablemans,
Oh my
Banshees,
God.
Triangle, Tar.
That's wow.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one was also probably Sarah Polley or Michelle Yeoh. I think those
Michelle
were
Yeoh's the other
probably
one. I went into the night saying the
the
two things,
best moments.
like obviously Everything Everywhere Once is going to win Best Picture. I went into the night saying the two things I want are Michelle Yeoh and Sarah Polley, and I got them.
You had a very good night, Trevor.
I had an amazing night. Well, I took the pic, my picture. I was wearing my Sarah Polley shirt, and I had my hot dog fingers, and those were the two things
You
that I
got
wanted.
both.
And then
I look forward to when the trailer comes out for this little thing, and they can put Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh in the trailer.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. So yeah, I was very happy for her. And I love her ladies never tell anybody that you're past your prime. I thought that was a very good line in her speech.
And I just had
I
a full
agree.
circle moment with Women Talking. I think I told you guys before with live. I've been predicting Women Talking to win Best Adapted Screenplay since December of 2021. I was a big Sarah Polley fan. I found out that she was adapting it. I bought the book on Amazon. I read the book. I was like, okay, let's do this. And I was like, I'm gonna call this right now. I'm gonna predict it. And then I called it all year. And then I got to go to a film festival and I got to meet Sarah Polley. And then it circled all back around. And then she won. And it was such an amazing, just like full circle thing. I've had like a 16-month long journey with this movie. And the fact that it ended up in an Oscar, especially because I had a panic attack right beforehand because I thought it wouldn't win, was just such an amazing, like, felt so
roller
good.
coaster.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't go through. No, I wouldn't go through that again. But it was such an amazing result.
And I just really love, because I do think it's a screenplay that like was brilliant in the movie, but it's also one I think you could like, it could stand on its own and you could just read. Like it really was deserving of this honor. And I'm glad.
An essay on it.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can do the other acting categories. We really didn't hit on supporting actor, I guess. But that's
well, I mean,
great speech, great moment. Gi Kwan.
Yeah.
Oscar winner.
Oscar producers. I saw, because they did a wide shot when Everything Everywhere won Best Picture, and I was like, I see little Ki-Wei Kwan walking up to Harrison Ford. This is when you need the close-up, not on Lady Gaga. You need it on this moment. And I love that performance. I thought all the performances were, well, actually, they ranged.
Three of them were good. Three of them.
I just did in my head. I was like,
I mean, applause was just forgettable.
Yeah, like the movie.
Everything Everywhere was just mixed really
that's
weird.
What it was.
Everything Everywhere
was
like, I don't think, because like Stephanie can sing. Okay, like Stephanie's a great singer. She has like Broadway background, right?
She was in SpongeBob SquarePants the musical.
Well,
there you go.
Stephanie
SpongeBob, Goofy Goopers.
Yeah, all comes back. I think Stephanie Hsu was obviously a Broadway type of singer, and David Byrne, I don't think is that. And so their timbres mixed with, like, I think they wanted her to do a Mitski type of vocal timbre, and that's just not what Stephanie Hsu does.
Right.
But I don't think it's also her fault. I think it's a weird song too. So like I get it. But
it has like a really weird like time signature and stuff. Like it's like very like
Yeah.
punchy but slow. I don't know. It's a very, very weird song, and the live mixing did not help it. Like it was SNL level live mixing. It was bad.
But the other three, Natu Natu, was a lot of fun.
Okay,
I thought
it's weird that I was a bit underwhelmed by Natu Natu. Like
By
I feel like
Natu.
yeah, I feel like they could have done more. Maybe that's just like me building it up in my head. Like it was great. It was obviously the best performance of the night. I feel like they could have done more with it. I know what I was expecting though.
Maybe. I just think it blows all the other ones like out of the water easily.
Obviously,
I think what you're describing is like the feeling of watching Moulin Rouge the musical, where you're like, this doesn't have the same verve as a Baz Luhrmann edited movie. And I think it's like Bollywood without the camera angles and the editing. I think you do feel a lack, but I still think that they did a fun job. I thought there was a very interesting way to do Hold My Hand. I assume because
one way to put it.
Well, I assume she's has to like because they like I remember when Michael Crawford went to the 25th anniversary of Phantom and he could not sing, and all the other Phantoms sung at the end. And I assume because she's filming Joker 2, like it's in her contract that she cannot sing like too much, because we were wondering whether she was even going to be there.
Voice, yeah.
But it was a different interpretation. I love the song, so I love her, so I welcome it. And then I thought Rihanna, who apparently that's how you say her name correctly, another thing we learned. I loved that performance. I thought bringing in that
was a very good performance.
Her. I love how she can't do a live performance without some sort of rising platform. That's a fun thing for her.
Me up.
That was I again love the song, and I thought she performed it incredible.
I think the intro from Denai Guerrero was really good too.
Very.
It also helped. We can address some of the chat stuff. Let's make sure we're hitting everything. Jamie Lee did win for her contributions to the yogurt industry instead of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I agree.
Do you know that Todd Field helped to invent Big League Chew?
Yes.
That's why he should win.
I learned that today. So speaking of
Big League Chew
accomplishments, what did we think of this not doing like clips, but doing like these sort of like 10-second reels of the movie?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I liked it at the beginning. I don't know if I liked it at the end.
I didn't love it.
But I liked that it was just something different.
At least we got clips.
Yeah.
Like
some of their clip picks were odd too. Like they didn't go with the obvious picks for some of them. But
like you make fun, they didn't do the I would love to do laundry and taxes with you. Maybe because it's in a different language. What did they do for him? They did his like his speech. Like I think like you're the Evelyn we're looking for. I'm a version of him from another universe.
Yeah. Paul Mescal, I think they did the correct clip.
They did.
They did. Talking about,
they did one of Brendan Fraser's more subtler moments for a clip, which was a good choice, I think.
I agree with William here, and I'm thankful. Thank you for all of you joining us. We're thankful for you and for supporting all of our channels.
Yes, thank you.
This whole season.
Yes. We will be covering awards next week.
No, I'm actually quit. I hate the Oscars now.
Yeah. This year just was so bad that we're just quitting.
No.
We will be covering next year's awards probably within a week. So
starting this weekend. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do like an entire award season wrap up probably on my channel later this week. The two of you might be there. Maybe. Maybe. And then I'll be transitioning into Oscars predictions. Probably we'll start with like Cannes preview. We'll start talking about Cannes because Cannes in like months.
Jack and I have Emmys, so we have that to look forward to. And maybe we'll do like a one-episode Tony special. Who knows?
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely keep going.
Yeah. I'll join for Emmys if you guys need help. I do not have the time to do Emmys on Oscar Buzz.
You are more than welcome.
I'll jump on though. I watch TV.
Yeah. It's good. Good year for HBO.
Let's go Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Yellow Jacket season 2. We got that.
Succession.
Oh god, the Barry's final season. God,
oh my god.
Did you know Barry and Succession are gonna have their final episode on the same day?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I still need to watch The Last of Us.
Yeah,
it's very good. It's very good.
You can't put these on like all these Sundays of import. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's true.
Okay, someone said the lack of sleep is starting to show. You look tired. Yeah, once again, I've been awake since Sunday at 8 a.m. Okay, it's been what is this? I can't do math.
This is
Monday.
What are you looking for? The day?
How long? No, wait. It's Monday now. So this
It is
has been
Monday.
24. This has been 36 hours now
Without sleep.
without sleep.
That's healthy for sure.
No.
We just a thing
Yeah,
we should note real quick. Ruthie Carter made history as the first Black woman
She
to win
did.
2
Which
Academy
is
Awards.
depressing, I will say.
I was like, really? But then I was like, yeah, I guess, because Viola Davis never won a second Oscar, even though she could have potentially in the past. And I guess it's never happened. I was thrilled for her. In my opinion, those were the best designed original costumes. So I was happy to see her win. And it was another beautiful speech, dedicating it to her mom who recently passed. I was very happy to see her.
I liked having physical versions of the costumes out on display too. That was a good
They
choice.
need to do the fashion show again.
They do need
okay?
to get the
Did you
fashion
guys
show
see
back.
this? They used to like get like models, and then they would put on the costumes, and then they do like a runway. Like when are we getting that again? Like I needed somebody wearing like the Babylon costumes and somebody wearing like the Joku Tupaki like costume. Like come on. Like why
Karen Delevingne is there for a reason. Use her.
Why did we stop? Why did we stop? I don't know. I think we need to do that again.
Yes, I agree. William also says, generally speaking, early on, Fableman's Everything Everywhere, Banshees, and Tar were the heaviest movies of the season, and 3 of them whiffed. It's wild. It is, especially Tar. I know.
Well, it's also interesting. Like if you think about at the beginning of the season, what we all thought were going to be the big things. What do we have? We had movies like I don't know, Empire of Light, Bardo, Babylon.
That was in there. The Whale, I think, was in there.
The Whale was really high up.
Well, see, okay, I want to talk to this comment just because I think what ended up happening is that we had three of those movies, Fableman's, Banshees, and Tar. I think weren't the type of movie that you wanted to like. I love all of those movies. All 4 of these movies were in my top 10 of the year, but I don't think it's the type, like if you love Tar, unless you're Martin Scorsese, it's not the type of movie that you want to go out and like start proclaiming your love for unconditionally, tweeting like there's no tomorrow, because Tar, it's a really great movie and we get it. Like, I don't know. I feel like Everything Everywhere, it was just so unique. And I think it needed that support where I don't think necessarily Tar did, because those type of movies get made. Like Paul Thomas Anderson made Phantom Thread, and I would put those in a similar category. I don't think you can do that with Everything Everywhere. And so I think it needed the support, and I think that in the end relayed into the passion that you need to win Best Picture.
Yeah. And like, I know something like Tar. I mean, there were people who were very loud about Tar, not in the best ways. Some of them.
Yes. Yeah.
I curate my Twitter I'm very proud of myself because I don't get these like tar heads. I don't get like
there are good tar heads and there are bad tar heads.
We are good tar. I would call myself a good tar head. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all good tar heads here.
I was sad when Lydia Tarr died this morning. Okay.
It was tragic,
I still think it's a conspiracy theory. Okay. I DM'd the Lydia Tarr Twitter account. I said, I know you're trying to trick us, and it hasn't responded yet, but I'll keep you guys updated.
It's just on chat.
So
what if?
Rip Bozo, right? So we not the gate to Lydia Tarr. But yeah, I don't know. I like there's some wild tar heads out there though. And like that's why I think that Michelle Yeoh win felt very good. If you want a very funny rant about the tar heads, go watch my video with Sam, our guest that we have on there. It's quite something. He had a lot of anger about that.
About Michelle Yeoh winning?
No, about the Lydia Tarr, like the Tar stands who were very
anti-Michelle Yeoh people,
racist. Again, the bad tar heads. Yeah, but no, like again, it's always these types of things, guys. It's the movies from directors that have done well before, and we're all like, oh, Steven Spielberg, I know that guy. I guess he's gonna win Best Picture. And it's like, no, that isn't how it works. They like to they like to bring up new names, and it just like listen, if you are predicting, I'm going to tell you this right now. I know it's early. If you're predicting Killers of the Flower Moon for Best Picture already, stop. Don't do it.
Wrong.
Okay,
it's not going to happen.
Those things don't Like that
just doesn't
they
happen
don't
anymore.
reward those types of movies anymore.
I think that what the problem, and this was just crystal clear with Fablemans, is that you get compared to your previous work. So at the beginning of the season, you're like, well, these people have won before, so you can logically, as Jack always does, you can picture them on the Dolby stage. Another thing that made me pick Jamie Lee Curtis to win, because I was like, I can see that happening. Yep. And it did.
Yeah.
But then what ends up happening is that you compare them to the other works. I think if you look back at Spielberg, like when he won, because he definitely was an established name, and I would argue that E.T. was most likely the runner-up of its year. So like people did respect him at that point. But Schindler's List was such a massive departure from anything that he had probably done before. Yeah. I know he had Color Purple and Empire of the Sun, but it was a big change. And he had Jurassic Park the same year. So like it was the moment. It was the time. So, I think with all these movies from these filmmakers, you know, they do great work. That's why they're great filmmakers, but they get compared unfavorably to their other work. And especially with like Banshees and Fablemans, because, you know, Todd Field's only done 2 other movies, and I wonder how many Academy members have seen his other 2 films to compare it. But with Banshees and Fablemans, Banshees is off kilter, and it's not going to be for everybody. It's a comedy too. And I think Fablemans, it's one of, if not his most ambiguous movie. And I think people didn't know necessarily how to feel about that movie. I think maybe all 3 of us, I know Jack and I think both saw it the first time, weren't vibing it, saw it the second time, and started to really like
Fablemans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wasn't huge on it the first time. I liked it
a bit more the second time. I still don't love it. I think I would have like a 3.5 on Letterboxd. I just can't get over Michelle Williams' performance. Like that just did not work for me at all. I hate her. Like, listen, Michelle, I love you. You're my personal winner in 2008 for Wendy and Lucy. Okay, I can't wait to see what you do in Showing Up. I love your work with Kelly Reichardt. This was not it. I'm sorry, this was not it.
I'll defend her as somebody who's been around a lot of Jewish mothers. She nailed it. I've been like, yes, I know exactly who you are. I know 7 of you in my childhood. And then the other thing too, I think the thing that hurt Tar a little bit, beyond the fact that, you know, the big thing behind it was Cate Blanchett, and there's the idea that we've already been here before. And I also think that Frances McDormand, like Meryl Streep won her 3rd Oscar in 2011, right? The 2012 ceremony.
Iron Lady.
The Iron Lady. And it then took almost a decade to get to Frances McDormand's 3rd win. I think having it so soon, like, I feel like we needed more space if we were going to do another 3rd win for Best Actress. But I also think
win her 1st and 2nd in a 9-year gap. So
yeah,
this would have been a 9-year gap.
But I also think that Tar's runtime. I know a lot of people who said, "I'll get to Tar, but it's just too long, and I need to see a shorter movie." So I think that might have hurt it.
Yeah, and it's not for everyone. Obviously, I've seen plenty of Best Picture rankings with it ranked last, which I don't understand, but I guess
I will guarantee you, in 10 years, when they do the Sight and Sound list, Tar will be the movie from 2022 that makes it on that list.
Yeah, I think it'll age very
After
well.
Sun, I think, can also make it. I think it'll be like Tar and After Sun will be the big 2.
Yeah.
Wait, I just thought Sarah Polley just did an interview where she said that in like her Oscar predictions pool, she predicted All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh wow,
that's great.
She's playing it safe.
Yeah.
I think this was a big surprise. We can talk about that.
That is the biggest surprise.
Okay, but as soon as it lost makeup, the dominoes started to fall in my head. I was like, actually, because like I wasn't
makeup. I knew Butler was going to win, or Butler was going to lose.
For cinematography, I wasn't predicting it for production design. So as soon as it lost makeup, I was like, well, I don't think Butler's happening anymore.
Yeah,
I also thought it would win costumes.
I predicted it for 3. Costume, makeup, and actor, and I thought makeup and actor would go hand in hand, and they did, just not for this movie. Right. And then I just thought costumes were going to go that way because Catherine Martin was nominated twice for production and costume. Maybe she split the vote between herself, or maybe she already has multiple Oscars for other Baz Luhrmann movies, and they just
didn't like Elvis as much as we thought, maybe.
Yeah, they still don't give Baz Luhrmann any Oscars. No nominations for director.
Yeah,
in my opinion, he should at least have been nominated for Moulin Rouge, but that's neither here nor there.
Also, I see Alex Jacob in the chat. Welcome.
Yeah,
but
hello.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I think Bohemian Rhapsody has really gotten to our heads, and we think that that's going to keep happening. And that was an anomaly that it won 4 Oscars.
I mean, let's be honest. Thank God.
Thank
God that was an anomaly.
As somebody who, as a Broadway fan, I think And nothing pisses me off more than these bio musicals that like it's the Neil Diamond story set to his music. I hate that. So like I get it, and I am happy that these type of movies don't tend to like win Oscars like Bohemian Rhapsody. But I just think it's interesting. It's like doing the Killers of the Flower Moon in #1 for Best Picture. We always end up thinking these things are going to happen because Bohemian Rhapsody happened, but that's not necessarily the case.
I would say Maestro will be very interesting, and it will be. I know things I will tell you off camera.
I don't have high hopes for it, if I'm being honest.
I'll talk to you off camera.
Yeah.
I can't say these
Maestro does well and Tar doesn't, there's something wrong with the world. But
I'll talk to you after the stream.
Yes, we can talk about that after. Performances of 2022 that didn't get nominated. You would like to be nominated.
I got a list. Here we go.
Daniel Deadweiler. High up there for me.
All right. No,
I gotta pull up my list. Hang on.
Yep, I'm getting my list.
Daniel Deadweiler. Anyone from Decision to Leave, but specifically Tong Wei.
Tong Wei or Park Hae-il would have been
both of them.
Incredible. Margot Robbie. Jesus Christ, guys.
Yes.
What should we do?
Definitely.
Yeah. Actress was stacked.
Actress is so stacked. Honestly, we should just have done 9 actress nominees in Paul Mescal. Like, or Mescal, or whatever.
Or just have Paul Mescal be the sole best actor. Already.
Yeah.
I would say my 3 people that I really it's tough. There were so many great people. I will say that I think for a young actor, I think Gabriel LaBelle, as Jack agrees, really was the MVP. Really was strong in The Fabelmans.
He carried that movie.
John Boyega in Breaking, I thought was incredible.
There's another one.
Really underseen movie.
Rachel Sennett. We know. Bodies. I agree. Yes, we do have our own nomination video that I'm almost done editing. That will come out very soon. So
we talked for a long time. The other 2 I would say is Nina Hoss and Tar, and Kiki Palmer and Nope. I thought were 2 other great.
Weird that I think that Nomi Merlant is the best supporting performance in Tar.
I slightly agree.
I think they're both excellent. I think Tar should have been an acting ensemble contender.
I agree. Okay, wait. There's a great one in chat. Dolly DeLeon.
Yes.
Yes.
I would also throw out Park Ji-min in Return to Seoul. If you guys haven't seen it, it's amazing. I would also throw out Gustavo Melanda in Saint Omer. Also amazing.
Yes, Frankie from
Frankie.
Frankie, of course.
Yeah. It was, listen, I really do think that this was an exceptional year for movies. I actually rewatched all of the Best Picture nominees over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like thoroughly happy, like going from movie to movie. And I do think we're going to look back on this year. I think the variety of the film, the type of film, and then the fact that a movie like Everything Everywhere is what we decided to honor. I'm also very happy because I'm excited for what that means going forward. Like what we talked about with Parasite winning and that opening up doors, the creative doors that get opened, and the type of, because we know what's going to happen this week is that everybody's going to go check out that movie. They're going to play it in theaters. The libraries across the country and across the world are now going to have that waiting list to get the DVD. And that's exciting. There'll be young filmmakers now that see that as having this moniker of success. And that's to me is that, and the careers being helped is what the Oscars are for. Janelle Monáe was very good in Glass.
Yes, Janelle Monáe. I did think Emily the Criminal and Aubrey Plaza were surprisingly good.
Very good. Surprisingly. Put some respect on Aubrey's name.
Obviously not Aubrey's a great actress. I didn't know about the movie, but I thought the movie surprised me.
Also, Colin Farrell for After Yang. I think that's his best performance of the year.
Watch our video, because Trevor had he came prepared like it was a TED Talk.
Listen, no, I just watched a lot of movies, okay? I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I went through a couple more fun picks. Dario Argento, the famous director. He's amazing in a movie called Vortex. By Gaspar Noé.
What about that mermaid movie? Wasn't there a mermaid
Neptune
movie?
Frost?
Neptune Frost.
That was not a mermaid movie, but
an Afro-futuristic sci-fi musical. Okay.
You had Neptune in the time. I just became everybody's mother. Ben Whishaw 100% should have been in supporting actor.
Well, honestly, just the entire cast of Women Talking should have been nominated.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Yeah. Oh, also for all the Jenna Ortega stands out there. She's incredible in The Fallout. Okay. Stunning work in The Fallout.
Yeah.
Wednesday's fine, but she's incredible in the
I don't think
Fallout.
she likes Wednesday either. So
All these,
I know, yeah, dude.
all these performances are great.
yeah,
No, amazing. Also, I really like White Noise, but
Constance is pro Tony special.
Yes, we'll have to do a in memoriam during that episode for Phantom of the Opera. Constance.
Maybe she can join you. Yes, for the Tony talk. Because
yo, I'd be down for
I
the
cannot
Tonys.
see it.
I live in the middle of Illinois, so I can't see
Yeah, I don't
them
know how I'll
live.
see
But
them.
I listen to all the soundtracks of the musicals that are nominated every year. So
it's
Yeah.
an interesting season, I will say. You have Jessica Chastain, who could very likely win. Who was incredible in A Doll's House. It'll be
Does
an
she already
interesting
have a
season.
Tony?
What?
Or no? Does she already have a Tony?
I don't.
No, she could win her Emmy, Tony, and Oscar within like 2 years because she could win for that
Yeah,
show, and
she
she
could
could
win
win
for
for
Tammy,
Doll's
Which
House.
she won the SAG award for. I don't think Jessica Chastain has a Tony. I'm checking it now.
I don't think she does.
She just needed a Grammy. That she's actually like very close to an EGOT.
I said
If she wins for those, yes.
she needs to release an album of her singing Tammy Faye's songs, and she'll win her Grammy.
I think she does. She does need to look out for Elizabeth Olsen in Limited Actress this season, though.
Yeah, I saw that was happening. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think she's
Penelope Cruz in official competition. One more. Penelope Cruz in official competition.
Ooh,
Right.
yes. Yeah, heard good things. Yeah, Black Panther got one surprise win there.
Which, I mean, listen, the first one won 3, this one won 1. I mean, as far as sequels go, I mean, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring won 6, and I think Two Towers won 2, so that's the same, like, fall off. You won 33%. If I did the math right, I might not.
Yeah. Let's see. Dune won 6 Oscars, 7.
It did. It won 6.
Yeah, but Dune Part 2 might be the end. So Dune Part 2 might skip over Two Towers and go straight to Return of the King level.
Or it could just not
Some
do
people
well at
disagree.
all.
Yeah, we'll see.
See,
I
Black Bleed
says I
Denise
think it's
for
missing director. I think it's missing screenplay.
I
think
agree.
I think
I don't even know if it gets picture.
But he also
this
thinks
might
Barbie
finally
will
be the
bomb.
year for Christopher Nolan.
No.
But I've
Hold up.
said that many times before.
Barbie will not bomb. Barbie will be the bomb. Okay.
Bomb.com.
Listen, Barbie is going to be amazing, and I think Warner Brothers will get 2 in, and it's going to be Barbie and The Color Purple.
I think Dune will still get in based on tax, but
Ooh.
we have a whole year to talk
Listen,
about it.
Avatar 2 got 3 other nominations and managed to get the Best Picture. So
yeah, well, okay, but if it would get it off of just text. I don't think it gets any.
Avatar 2 is also the 3rd highest grossing film of all time. I don't think.
Well, that's true.
That, but
Dune's also boring.
Avatar. I thought you were gonna say Dune Part 2. It's like how do you know that that's the highest grossing?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I know.
Just wait and see.
I just hope that Doom Part 2 isn't as boring as the first one.
Have you only seen it once, Trevor?
No, I saw it 3 times.
Okay, all right. Because it was on my 3rd watch that it clicked for me, so I recommend seeing it more than once.
Yeah, no,
I'm doing the Dune Challengers and Barbie campaigns these upcoming years. Those will be who
I'm doing the Barbie and Bottoms campaign.
I would campaign for Bottoms, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it can.
I wish you luck.
Original screenplay. I think we can get it to happen.
Listen, Everything Everywhere All at Once winning proves that no movie is too silly and too
South
crazy.
by Southwest. I literally heard it's Edgar Wright, but for super bad, but also way smarter.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I trust M.S. Ogden with my heart and soul.
Yes, I do too.
I don't even know if this is coming out this year, but whenever it does, I hope May, December can be something and rectify.
I'm predicting Todd Haynes for director. I think that's going to be big. I have a spreadsheet. Thomas and I just spent 4 hours earlier today putting together a spreadsheet of like 15 shortlists in every single category, including original song, which was interesting. 80 for Brady for Oscar nomination.
Don't doubt it.
Animated as well. You know the directors of Loving Vincent are doing another animated film.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's called The Peasants. So, we're 2024 predictions later. I haven't heard anything about this.
Oh, well, that would be fun.
I remember that the Parasite, like the woman who interpreted Bong Joon-ho throughout that award season, Sharon Choi, was apparently making a movie about award season. So maybe the two of them should collab.
They should.
Interesting. We should also talk about what's definitely getting a Best Picture nomination. I kid. The Little Mermaid, because that was a part of last night's show.
I think it's getting nominations.
I mean, for Best Original Song, I think they might have something. We'll see.
Song. The other thing I think it could be competitive in.
Not visual effects.
Costume.
Are you gonna? Oh, costume. What'd you say?
Maybe.
You said costume.
Little Mermaid for costumes. Yeah.
Oh,
Think about all the stuff on land.
I thought you said actress for a second. I was like, that's bold of you.
No, I
Yeah.
think it could be like a song and a costumes thing. Maybe makeup as well,
I think Beauty and the Beast got 3 nominations, so
including costumes.
costumes. It's possible.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
But that was a
movie.
bit of a goofy insert.
It was
I
goofy.
didn't like. I'm fine with because I've said in the past on both of your shows that I do think that if they premiere trailers like the Super Bowl, that could be a way to get people interested. It's a way to celebrate. Like we celebrate the year we had. Now let's celebrate the year to come. Like because The Irishman he premiered its first teaser during the Oscars. West Side Story premiered a trailer during the Oscars. It's like I was fine with The Little Mermaid, but it felt weird to walk them out as if The Little Mermaid like died over the past year and we're honoring it. It just was
Just like
so
Lydia
weird.
Tarr.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid slipped on its tail and fell down the stairs.
Because it made it seem as if The Little Mermaid, and listen, I love The Little Mermaid. I'm directing the show this summer, so like I love the show. But it made it seem as if it's on the level of like Casablanca, like they're coming out to honor it in this special moment, like or like some like Godfather type, like last year when the Godfather reunion
Or
happened.
the 28th anniversary of Pulp Fiction last year.
The most random thing ever.
I was happy. I mean, until they said who won that category, lest we forget.
Did you guys read into the anonymous ballots at all?
Yes.
Did they
It
help
only
you with
made me
anything?
more confident in my Jamie Lee.
Yep.
They made me fear Jamie Lee more. So yeah, they did.
Because if she wasn't the choice, she was mentioned in every single conversation.
I think she had the most votes when you tallied them out.
Oh my god. No, Little Mermaid is definitely getting costumes. It's Colleen Atwood who's doing the costumes.
Oh yeah. And she hasn't won since Fantastic Beasts, right?
Yeah, but she has 4 Oscars.
That was a surprise win.
Fantastic Beasts, Alice in Wonderland.
That gave us the fear that La La Land
Investigation.
wasn't winning Best Picture early.
And Chicago. She's been nominated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For what it
9,
is,
10,
I'm looking forward to Little
13
Mermaid.
times.
The trailer looks fine for what it is. It's fun.
It looks like a Disney live action.
Costumes.
None of them look.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really care about that much. I heard that there's an original song and it's good. It's Colleen Atwood doing the
I think
costume.
Lynn
Like probably
made an original song for it. So.
I mean, he might EGOT with the Little Mermaid. That would be pretty. That'd be pretty full circle for him. I feel.
Yeah.
Story. I mean, he named his son Sebastian, so.
Okay.
He's definitely a fan.
There was that one anonymous ballot that was like extremely racist in terms of what it said about Viola
I think
Davis
that was
and
Brian
stuff.
Cox.
You think so?
It said an Emmy-nominated actor in like Emmy-winning TV dramas, and the way it was written was like the exact same way that Brian Cox speaks.
Brian Cox is just Logan Roy, I guess. He just
like
is.
making it very easy to be on Team Shiv for this final season.
I've always been Team Shiv.
I have too.
Oh, I've also always been Team Shiv. I think it's
my film
even though she like tried to cover up sexual assault, but like whatever.
We can look.
They're all terrible.
That.
Everyone else has done worse.
My film studies professor is like, "How can you support Shiv?" And I'm like, "Listen, I don't know what to tell you. It's like I hate Logan more." It's like the 26th.
I also support women.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Brendan Fraser. The campaign paid off.
Yep.
I think I'm.
It is funny that we have both of you here. It's like the campaign managers for different teams having to come together on like CNN after the election.
Yeah.
And then I'm like the New Jersey Green Party with Paul Mescal, just like hanging out, just waiting. Got no votes.
Oh, so yeah, Jamie Foxx and Jamie Lee Curtis have both won Oscars. Who's another famous Jamie?
Lannister.
Well, he is not a human being.
Jamie Dornan.
Present times.
Jamie Dornan.
That's not happening anytime soon. But yeah,
should have been nominated for Barb and Star.
I still need to see that.
Jamie Bell.
Jack, hold up.
I've told you this before. You know I haven't seen
Barb and Star.
Yeah.
Barb and Star go to
Vista Del Mar. I know, with Jamie Dornan. I haven't.
Jack.
I'm good. I also haven't seen any of the before movies.
Have you seen Persona? I feel like that would particularly offend.
We're gonna do another comment now.
No,
Will Dune be a fall
Abe
off?
still
No,
hasn't seen the Before trilogy, so like,
I haven't either.
yeah, I know. Well, you guys don't watch movies. I swear.
I don't
No.
think Cillian Murphy. I don't watch movies. I hate them. I don't think
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy will be nominated.
Oh no, he will.
I don't think so.
Nolan doesn't get actors in. Actors going to be.
But he
competitive this
doesn't.
year.
Nolan doesn't usually. Nolan has never made like, because I still think a war movie is essentially in from a certain point of view, it is a genre movie because it has to adhere to certain, like you have to have certain action sequences and there's a certain way to shoot a war movie. He's never made like a straight drama. I feel like since what, Insomnia,
Dunkirk.
but that's again, it's
Yeah,
but it's
drama
Oscar
movie.
bait.
Are we gonna see the
like,
Prestige?
he's never written a movie where like you actually have to write the movie. Like it's very directorial in his mind. So this is different. We'll see what happens with Oppenheimer. But if Oppenheimer is Best Picture nominated, I think Cillian Murphy will go along for the ride.
I disagree. I
know.
don't think that they're going to care about the actors in it.
I don't think so either. I think it'll be text.
I'm not even confident in this movie.
Maybe picture.
I think it could be the exact same thing that we see with like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with Dunkirk. It's your summer movie. It's the one summer movie that is able to compete.
No.
I also think actor is shaping up to be the most competitive acting category this upcoming year.
Yeah. For
Brad
Rustin,
Majors,
Bradley Cooper.
I
mean, DiCaprio's still there. DiCaprio,
Giamatti, Ryan Gosling for Barbie.
There's also I'm
he'd be
going to butcher the
supporting.
name, but Yuteo for Past Lives.
Past Lives, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Finally.
Next year, Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, Taraji P. Henson. I have her in my 10 for supporting actress for Purple. Also keep an eye out for the Bike Riders. Another one that could be a big thing is Saltburn with Barry Keoghan in the lead, and then Rosamund Pike in lead as well. Could be interesting. Emerald Fennell's follow up to Promising Young Woman.
Also doesn't have Jacob Elordi in it.
Probably.
I think so.
Our
next Elvis.
Sofia Coppola. Yeah, honestly,
let's
get it.
Are there any other? Throw out any last questions. I think.
Yes, we're
ceremony.
trying to catch up. Everything Ever Was a Perfect Melting Pot. It does have every genre.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Color Purple repeat history news and everything. Maybe
Color Purple versus Little Mermaid versus
Diane Warren's song.
Diane Warren will never win.
No, and honestly, she shouldn't.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, for people getting mad at like Andrea Riseborough or like
Diane Warren,
even Jamie Lee Curtis for winning, like Diane Warren is right there. And listen, she can pluck a tune and she can play a piano.
She's got her honorary Oscar.
Like, and I'm not even mad. Like, it's fine. I don't care. Throw her. I'm fine if it's only a category of 4 songs plus Diane Warren. But like, you can't get mad at Andrea Riseborough and not get mad at Diane Warren. Nobody's seen this movie. Can you? Does this? Movie
I watched it.
You're the only one. You're the one person.
I was going to watch it. But
you were going to watch it with us.
I was.
Thomas, Sam, and I watched it together.
Amazing film. Tell it like
I will not say what I would like to because it's Women's History Month.
There you go.
Yeah, it was. It was a movie. I will say, and I'm going to be completely honest. If I make a feature film and Diane Warren is alive, I will pay her whatever she wants to write me a song for my movie because that guarantees that people are gonna watch it. Was I gonna watch Tell It Like a Woman without the song? Nope.
They should collab her. They should like get like somebody with Diane Warren, like to write the song, like Lady Gaga and Diane Warren, and that way she can win.
I think she wants to win it on herself. I think if I were to guess,
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's. I agree. JLC. She wasn't like bad, but I don't think she deserved it.
Fine. It's wild that's an Oscar-winning performance, but like whatever.
Yeah, I do need to catch up on a lot of movies.
I mean, so do I. To be fair, I don't.
Did take me a while to watch Abbott Elementary. Yutaka is hopefully going to be joining us to talk about Emmys and Abbott Elementary sometime this upcoming season.
We need to thank the Twitter voters for forcing Jack to dress up as Carl from.
I thought we were going to go the whole stream without mentioning that, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, I left the comment. I left the comment on the video. I told everybody.
I did. I replied to your comment. Yeah,
I know.
We should mention the Daniels first off. We haven't really talked about them.
Oh yeah, great speech.
Well, yeah. I love Daniel Shiner kind of being like the mom of the duo of just like, all right, sweetie, say what you want to say. Like he was just
Yeah.
like there supporting Daniel.
I loved
It's not like
I loved the
Daniel
drag
Kwan
shout
won
out
it,
too.
and Daniel Schneider was just like his cheerleader, which I thought was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. They've given great. I think with the speeches, the thing was most of the people who won had already given speeches, and honestly, I think most of their previous speeches were better, but I still think they all gave good speeches. So.
Yeah. And I loved when Daniel Schneider mentioned all his public school teachers and that he dressed up in drag, and that's okay. Like he had a couple of great
and
moments
also
there.
Kwan saying for all of like the Asian kids out there, don't think that this is the standard you have to measure up to. I think that was also it was a very, very fun moment.
Yeah.
Because I was
Kwan
already
seeing Harrison Ford too.
Yeah,
was an amazing moment with a hug.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford smiled for like the third time in his life. It's insane.
So wait, so the other 3 times were so he smiled when Kiwi Kwan wins. He smiled when J.J. Abrams killed him off in The Force Awakens. That was definitely one of them.
Is that smile worthy from Harrison Ford? Do you think?
I think because
I think he smiled when he saw
on Jimmy Kimmel. He was like, "They
account.
finally got to kill me off." So I think that was definitely one of them. And then Choose Your Own Adventure. Tell us in the comments.
His interview with Allison Hammond, where she smiled a lot. Yeah. If no one has seen that, it's an iconic interview. Nolan does not have heart, so that's why he will not get.
I mean, listen,
Nolan does not make good movies.
That's my unpopular
besides
opinion.
Interstellar. Yeah,
I'm very moved. I don't know why. But maybe I'm just very emotional overall, and I see it. I find Tenet to be an emotional movie with the little kid at the end. I thought Interstellar was emotional. Dark Knight Rises. I like him. I like his. I
like Interstellar
right now.
Oof. Okay.
Tenet was.
I guess I'm in the minority on here. I'll keep my opinions on Interstellar to myself.
We know.
Yeah,
but believe me.
I don't know. The director of that is a good director. I saw one of his previous films for one of my classes, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it might not win anything, but I think it'll be a big contender overall.
I think it has the potential for 2 women of color to win this category back to back if they do it well. Because listen, I will say when The Color Purple was revived in 2016, it was the only movie. It was the only show to take away an acting award from Hamilton. Like Hamilton won the other 3 categories. It won supporting actress, and actor, but Cynthia Erivo won Best Actress. So it is strong. It's a strong.
It's a juicy role. It's a juicy role.
It's a very juicy role.
Like, no, again, it will come down to the name. Do people know who David Brino is?
Well, we'll see. Because it could be Ariana DeBose, who similar performance,
supporting
movie. We'll see.
I feel like it's different with lead.
True.
Yeah.
True. Ryan Gosling will win his Oscar
because I want it to happen.
I think Ryan Gosling will win his Oscar for The Gray Man too. No, I don't know what he'll win an Oscar for.
Yeah. Sam thinks he's gonna win for Barbie too. It's like, nah.
He thinks like Barbie TOO or Barbie 2?
No, Barbie. I know I said Barbie 2. 37 hours without sleep.
Yeah. There should be a Barbie 2.
There should be before we.
After it's a huge hit, will not bomb. What does it say?
I will personally make sure it doesn't bomb. I will buy an entire theater to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah. Everyone on Barbie Day, we all wear pink.
Mm-hmm.
You're making the movies.
I have my.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future, Mean Girls, Legally Blonde, and Barbie, it's one hell of a triple feature.
It's a great triple feature, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Bettany is working with Anthony McCartan, so we know that there will be a bad movie coming out sometime soon.
You know what?
Listen, maybe because I had my expectations so low, and I don't know, did I just see The Whale? I didn't hate the Whitney Houston movie, but I
still haven't seen it. So
yeah,
you need to say the full title.
Oh yes,
Whitney Houston. I want to dance.
Whitney Houston: I want to dance with somebody.
Thank you.
I didn't hate it, but I also like Naomi Ackie, and I think that went a long way. I also didn't know too much about Whitney, so I got to actually learn about the story. But yeah, poor Anthony McCartan.
I think it's really funny that.
Poor Anthony McCartan.
Performance.
Poor us for having to go through what he makes.
That performance.
I'm nice, Jack. I try to.
Anthony McCartan's not listening.
didn't get a single nomination all season. No Critics Group, not even like the NCAAP Image Awards nominated her. Okay, and they nominated Cassie Lemons in Best Director for that movie. They didn't even nominate Whitney Houston, not Whitney Houston, Naomi Ackie. They didn't nominate Naomi Ackie for a single thing. Nobody nominated Naomi Ackie all year. If you go to like her IMDb, she has zero things for that performance.
It's the curse of being in the worst Star Wars movie. So
she was not in Phantom Menace
holiday
or Attack
special.
of the Clones, so shut your mouth.
Okay. Also, shout out to William, who's a very dedicated and awesome viewer for all of us.
Yes.
We love William here.
Thank you, William, and thank you to everybody who's spelling my name correctly. That you're doing better than my work and my school. So
yeah,
I did call you Antony for a while.
That's fine. I just love that. Like everybody's, I respect it.
I figured it out. Like 2 months ago,
detective.
but I figured it out.
You're good.
Also, is Nolan too philosophical? No, he's just boring. But
it's boring to a specific taste.
Yeah, my taste.
Your taste.
My taste. I find him boring.
Art is subjective. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I think he's boring if he's not in space. So you should go back to space, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, like Fast and Furious 9, one of the best films of 2022, better than half of the Best Picture nominees that year.
Fast and Furious 9?
Yeah, they went to space. They launched a car into space.
Oh,
and it was
I don't see the Fast and Furious movies. Should I watch those before?
No.
Yes.
Or
Fast and Furious movies are incredible.
No.
Okay,
Fast and Furious or Persona?
Fast and Furious. Listen, they are the funniest things in the world. I don't watch them as real movies. I watch them as absurdist comedies, and they are great.
Trevor, you have us, and then you just like something
just trashed on Nolan, and then it's like the Fast and Furious movies are incredible.
And then also, Ingmar Bergman's my favorite director, and I have the Criterion box set of all of his movies sitting right here. Like,
so is there a life-size Spider-Man in the
there is, yeah.
So this is a life-size Spider-Man. So my dad was helping somebody move like 3 years ago, and he found it in his basement, the guy's basement, and yeah, he was just sitting there. And it was a raffle giveaway. There's only 2 of them, I think. It was a raffle giveaway from Blockbuster Video for the release of the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and the guy won it, and it just ended up sitting in his basement, and he was moving, and my dad was like, "I'll take that," and then he was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Sure." So now he just lives with me.
I think that statue is older than all of us. So
yeah,
there you go.
2002.
It was
not
probably.
me.
Well, it was probably made before.
Year.
I was too, but it was probably made before then.
Maybe. I also want to say, just to wrap up, I feel like we've mentioned everything about the show. I don't know how I got all 3 shorts correct, but I'm happy I did.
I did too. That's how. Yeah. What were your guys' final scores? Because the shorts saved me. I went 17 for 23.
I had 16, but I missed 2 shorts.
I had 19 out of 23.
Nice. Okay,
nice.
Without shorts, what did you all have? Because without shorts, I had 15 of 20.
Then I would have 14 without shorts.
I think I would have 16 out of 20.
Well, you just subtract 3. You just subtract 3. Is the math.
My misses were production design. It was the Elvis categories: production design, makeup, and actor, and then oh my god.
I really messed you up with actor.
There was one,
on Brendan Fraser.
There's one
production
design. Oh, production design, costumes, makeup, and actor.
Production design was probably the biggest.
I missed all 4 of those plus score.
Yeah. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, I also missed score.
Yes, I would like to personally say, Jack, you really screwed me over. I had Brendan Fraser 2 weeks ago.
I did screw you over. That was just my plan.
To Thomas. Thomas kept Fraser all season long. He stuck with it.
Yeah. I think it's hard to keep somebody who doesn't win everything and is in a movie that you do not like. It's kind of hard to keep them in that first position.
Which is why
except if their name is Will Smith, because I did keep him there and I did not like King Richard.
Oh God, that like even I don't even care what happened like before at the Oscars. Like that just is not a good performance. I'm sorry.
I think it's a bad performance.
Hang on, wait. Are we going
Oscar-winning performance?
Is this 2 years in a row where for you guys the best actor winner was your number 5 performance in the category?
No, because Javier Bardem last year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I liked him more than King.
Oh, okay.
Is that a debate?
not like
I thought like
anything
the
about
moment
that.
at the end when he goes, "Lucy, I'm home," and then she has that moment with them together. I thought had more nuance than anything in King Richard.
I thought Javier Bardem gave one of the worst performances of the year.
J.K. Simmons would like a word.
Well, that too.
Every performance in that movie, pretty much.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful movie.
It was fine. I didn't mind. She shouldn't have been in there, but it was fine.
I do think
Oh,
Jamie did
yes.
want
I want to mention this. Thank you. Who is Alex Jacob?
She manifested her Oscar win.
She was the inverse of Cate Blanchett. She wanted it. She made it known that she wanted it, and I think that helps because people want.
She asked for the nomination and she got it. She asked for the win and she got it.
Yeah,
all you guys do is ask.
And I also think there was a level of respect, like in a night that we're honoring everything everywhere. I do think a lot of people respect her putting her name on the line for this type of, like, that could have been such a type of performance that made fun of her or like ruined her career. You know, I feel like
she was a big cheerleader for the film as a whole.
She was a big cheerleader for the film. I think a lot of people respected.
Part of the reason why the film did well.
Yeah,
and I think she was really helpful with older voters accepting the film. Because I think since it came out so early, they also had time to rewatch it.
Yeah,
which was also helpful.
Which is why Past Lives will help because it's coming out in May.
I don't know. I'm feeling farewell vibes for that person.
All right, so wait, so we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because we've had 2 years in a row now. We had an August release for Coda, and we had a March release for Everything Everywhere. Are we entering a period where we kind of mentioned it already? The Oscar bait is gone. The Oscar window is gone. I mean, I'm kind of feeling we are. And I have to say, compared to last decade, the first 3 wins of last decade were King's Speech, The Artist, and Argo. This year, it's Nomadland, Coda, and Everything Everywhere. And I lean towards the latter. And I think it's more exciting lineup of where film is heading.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the campaign because like Coda didn't have any buzz in August, but they really campaigned later on in the season, which got its awareness going.
Yeah,
so I think
like listen, I have personally Past Lives as my number 1 right now. I put it there immediately after Sundance. Do I actually think it's going to win Best Picture? No, I don't think that we know what the Best Picture winner is yet, if I'm being completely honest. But
I don't think
the only
so.
thing that
I hope not. It would be such a boring future year if we already knew.
Yeah. But like, no, I mean, like, I don't think that we even know what the movie is what I'm saying.
Like we haven't even
maybe the movie hasn't been made yet.
At like Cannes or TIFF or something. Because like, like Past Lives, like it's the only thing that makes sense though, just as far as like the smaller passion-driven type thing. That just it wasn't from a director who's previously nominated. Like it kind of fits all of the trends. It feels important. It feels like it's representing a year. I mean, it's about connecting with people and which is like coming out of like COVID still. And it's like, it does make sense so far, but again,
I just
like,
don't think it's gonna make any money, and I think that was crucial to Everything Everywhere.
I agree. I still think that I still think that it will probably make the lineup,
but that didn't come out in May.
Right. I do think
it's sounding farewellish to me. But
that's what I think.
But I also think that the important thing is that this is A24's top priority. They've already stated this is their top priority. Also, The Farewell didn't have a 96 on Metacritic.
Yeah,
true.
Like,
true.
We'll see.
I think the fact that like I only have it number 1 because it's the thing I feel most confident about actually getting the Best Picture nomination, just because we have reactions to it. And just because A24 has already said it is their top priority. So the fact that we know they love it, it's their top priority.
I really hope that the current
spoil what I have at number 1 yet. We're gonna save that for the video.
I really hope my current favorite movie of 2023 is able to win.
That's your favorite, really? Wow.
Currently,
I haven't seen it yet. Missing is my second favorite, I think. I think my favorite is still Magazine Dreams, I think maybe.
Yeah. I haven't I am not Trevor. I did not go to Sundance virtually, so I will catch up on it.
I only saw 5 movies at Sundance.
I saw 23 movies at Sundance.
That's a lot of money.
You young child.
It was all of my money. It was not a good decision. Yeah, no, these are my top movies of the year so far.
Yeah.
I have Joyland number 1.
All That Breathes, Joyland. I can't see the rest, but
it's Joyland, Alder Road, Stays Assault, Theater Camp, Skinamarink, Mutt, Infinity Pool, Eternal Memory, Scrapper, Disappearance of Share Height, and Magazine Dreams are my current top 10.
Magazine.
Joyland technically counts. It's technically a 2023 film.
All right, so I'm gonna ask one final question, and
we have to catch up on the comments.
We're wrapping up.
If anyone has any final comments,
catch up on the comments, and then I have a question for you guys to maybe end us.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Well, no hard feelings for Best Picture. I don't think so. But there you go.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
What would you say is the greatest decade of cinema? That's extremely
We're gonna be here for another hour.
All right. I am going to throw out the 1960s.
Really? That's interesting. Leonard Maltin said that was his least favorite decade. I find that fascinating. Why do you think it's the best?
Okay, I think that's when the French New Wave started to really develop, which is my favorite movement of cinema. That's where you saw people like Jacques Tati and Demy and like Truffaut and Agnes Varda, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, really start to emerge. That's where Persona came from. Ingmar Bergman. You also had like Fellini doing a lot of great stuff with films like 8.5. I just think it was like a really great era for like this movement in international cinema. In American cinema, it was kind of a weird time. It wasn't the strongest for like American films during that time, but I think as far as like the overall global state of cinema during that time period was just like fantastic.
No, I definitely, if you're going international cinema, I definitely think the 60s is a great decade. Because I think the 60s innovated a lot of the techniques that then you saw implemented into American
New Wave in like the 70s.
And I think you could make an argument for the 70s. It's tough. I mean,
I don't know. I'd probably say the 70s. I don't know.
The 70s, the 30s were really great. I think I personally have a love for the 50s because I love a lot of like classic Hitchcock, and I think the musicals were great in the 50s. I also, one of my 400 Blows was 59, so
yeah, like that catches just at the end.
And I feel like for all of us, I think that it's like the greatest is different than favorite. I think there always will be a certain. Listen, we were alive for the 2010s, and it was really exciting.
It's a good decade still.
I mean, Portrait of a Lady on Fire and Parasite in the same goddamn year.
And like the same month. But I also think what I like about the 2010s is just that I do think that what the independent cinema movement kind of started in the 90s, it led the way to where we were in the 2010s, where like you saw movies like Moonlight happening. And I just feel like as far as like voice in cinema and like the perspective and the point of view, I do think that was really exciting with the 2010s. And I think we'll look back on it kindly.
But like the 2020s so far, it's pretty great. And like I think we're going to see the 2020s make up to be like a really interesting just this like a really interesting mix of cinema where you're having like these like older filmmakers from like, you know, who started making things in the 70s and 80s in this like American new wave of cinema, mixing with these younger, like, you know, like hyperactive filmmakers who grew up with the internet, and like these Gen Z filmmakers, and people like, I mean, I don't know, like people like Emma Seligman, people like Bo Burnham, and all of these people, right? I mean, and like Bo Burnham isn't like young per se, but like just like that brand of filmmaking, I guess.
I think what you're seeing now currently, which is so exciting, is an equal amount of reverence paired with the willingness to break everything apart and
Daniels
and put it back together. And so this, they're breaking the foundation of cinema with a level of respect that makes these films fascinating. And I think that's what Everything Everywhere really sums up. In a year that we saw so many of those type of movies, I think Everything Everywhere encompasses all of that. Great question, Joaquin. Absolutely. And it was a tough question.
It was. Someone agrees with you about Justin agrees with you about
it was watchable. It was watchable.
Did anybody watch Spoiler Alert?
No. It was out of theaters like that.
I know. I didn't see it.
You didn't either. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did Puss in Boots and I Want to Dance with Somebody the Same.
I am Puss in Boots.
Still time for another question.
Let's see.
The decade so far.
All right,
probably Hopkins.
Winner. Okay.
I'd say Hopkins.
Hopkins for 2020.
Oh, for each one. I thought it was overall. For each one. Hopkins for 2020. 2021. Probably DeBose.
I
Oh, I'm really caught between Yoo Jin-yoon and
Hot.
Frances McDormand.
Oh,
For
okay.
that year, I cannot decide there. For 2021, Jessica Chastain, I think
Okay.
easily for me.
I'd go to both.
Dan
And
Hopkins, DeBose, and of this year,
I'd say Michelle.
yeah, I would agree.
yeah.
Not a huge fan of like 2 of the 3 winners or 2 of the 4 winners.
Oh wait, he did mean combined. So 3 years combined. So just our favorite acting winner of the decade so far.
Hopkins.
It probably maybe it's recency bias. Probably Michelle Yeoh.
Wow.
I would go Frances McDormand.
Got some diversity.
But it's so tough. There's so many great performances, and I do think, the range of what we've seen, and I also think supporting performances. It's tough. How can you compete with the lead role?
It is.
Michelle Yeoh is just like the happiest I felt about a win so far this decade.
Yeah.
Like it's made me the most happy. A stat you wish we listened to or wish we ignored. Honestly, I don't.
The SAG stat for Jamie Lee, I guess, is what I should.
The BAFTA stats you need to ignore.
I think it was really just about SAG being closer, to be honest. I do think BAFTA is still important.
I just think they purely voted for it because they liked the performance more. Like I think they voted for Fraser over Butler just because they liked the performance more. I still don't believe that the Oscars care about narrative. I honestly just think they liked the performance more, and it was kind of a misdirection about how much more they nominated Elvis. But like they obviously liked it more because they voted the Whale over Elvis in other categories. They clearly didn't like Elvis that much. So I just think that they liked the Whale more than we thought. And we just kind of got misdirected and thought they liked Elvis more. And I think that narrative does come into it.
Well, listen, I don't know if it's particularly that specific about like not liking Elvis as a whole. I just think it was clear that they liked Brendan Fraser, and a stat to pay attention to is makeup and actor. So like if you love Brendan Fraser, then it makes sense that you're going to give best makeup to the Whale. I think the stat that you need to live by is that you need to go with the best picture contender. If you're caught, you go with Jamie Lee Curtis over Black Panther. You go with All Quiet on the Western Front over Babylon.
Which is why I was arguing Carrie over Angela for a while.
And listen, you could argue Black Panther Wakanda Forever wins costume over Elvis. Yes, doesn't always happen. But if you're stuck, tend to lean toward best picture. And then the stat you wish you ignored.
Start ignoring that sound editing stat because it doesn't always.
Not always. I mean, it usually comes through.
I think if it's a sweep, you ignore it. If it's not a sweep, then you can use that stat. Yeah, but I always go for like sweeps first, and then stats, and then support for the movie. It's like my tiers.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Just because a famous person is attached to a short doesn't mean that short will win.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about Stranger at the Gate, because I was only predicting Stranger at the Gate because I hate that movie, and they always do one movie that I hate every single year. And it was just Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And I thought that they were gonna Stranger at the Gate was gonna be the one I hate. So yeah.
Instead, it was that stupid children book movie.
Yeah. I think
if everything everywhere taught us anything, it's to be kind to one another, Jack.
Not to the Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
Not to any of them. No. Let's see. Got some decades shout outs: 60s, 90s, 80s, 2000s.
Yes. I mean, listen. As a musical fan, the 60s are pretty special.
I got the Me box set right up here. Umbrellas to Sir Young Girls of Russia 4. Incredible.
Sally Field robbed, apparently.
Sally Field will be robbed for 80 for Brady.
Should be getting Golden Globe comedy actress.
Yeah. It's crazy that I have to catch up with Creed 3, which might be better than 80 for Brady, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure.
I don't know. Creed 3 was just okay to me. I think it's.
I'm watching Creed and Scream tomorrow.
3.
Any other questions? Because
yes,
we're about to go as long as the Oscars.
I guess, yeah. I haven't seen any Scream movie, so I need to catch up on those.
Yeah. Now
we need another question.
We're going to do that tonight. We're going to watch Scream tonight.
There's like 6 of them.
The first one.
Okay.
The first one?
Is it streaming?
We're
Listen,
forcing you.
I think Scream is one of the more consistent horror franchises. I think
They're good.
There's not a massive drop off between the movies.
Scream 4 is legitimately great. I love Scream
Roberts,
4.
man.
See,
Emma Roberts in Scream 4 walked so that Rachel Sennett and Bodies could fly.
And fly did she?
She did.
She's literally my
All the way to
number
middle
2
class.
best supporting actress. It goes Stephanie Hsu and Rachel Sennett. I love that performance so much. Your parents
she'd
are
be high.
upper middle class.
It's one of the best line
No, they
deliveries
aren't.
of this
They
past year.
teach at a university. It's public.
It's a good
So I guess, listen, we're gonna. I want to take this opportunity. I'm sure my co-hosts do as well. Thank you for following us and listening to us every week. We love doing this, and we do it by ourselves. So we love having this conversation between ourselves. But it's wonderful when we read the comments every week and we see that people are enjoying when you send in your own picks. It really does make this a lot of fun. And I knew we grew up loving these movies. We're still growing up loving these movies. So we love that we're now a part of your award season cycle. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Means a lot. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's been a really fun ride. This has been the first full award season on our channel, which has been really fun. We started in like October for like the last season as far as covering it on the channel, but Thomas and I had been talking about awards together for a while since like the end of like the Green Book year when we were wee little lads. I think so. Like it's been fun, and it's been fun to grow the channel together. It's been fun to have you guys on. I think, as you said, I think we're gonna try to work something out for you guys to be on later this week. So, But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, and thank you for having me on this. This has been fun.
Of course, you are welcome anytime, especially as we enter Emmy season.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've caught up with every question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, I'm at Oscar, William. In case anybody.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, William.
I will put the link to Trevor's channel in the description. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed.
I recognize a lot of names.
I recognize got a pretty big crossover in terms of viewers. But yeah, his link will be in the description or in the comment section, whichever is easier. And yeah. Did you have a final question, Antony, that you mentioned, or did we cover it?
Oh, wait, that's right. What did I want to ask? This. Yes, I actually had this. I remember this question. Out of all of these acting nominees who did not win last night, who do you think will be the first to win the Oscar?
To win.
So out of the what would it be? 16 people who left without an Oscar in the acting categories. Who will be the first to win? And you can say Cate Blanchett and that she's going to win again. I will accept that.
I'm trying to think of who has like something coming very soon.
I feel like
never mind. I'm not going to say that.
What were you going to say? Because I feel like I might have.
I'm going to say Paul Mescal for
Gladiator. I was also going to say Paul Mescal.
Yeah, but I was like, he's too young.
He's getting an insane amount of projects. I think it could happen. I do like this answer in chat, Colin Farrell. I don't know if Angela will get another moment. If I'm being honest,
I think she should. I really hope she does.
Should. I will say also, I think Brian Tyree Henry is going to have his moment pretty soon. Honestly, I think that this was his invitation, and I think that he's going to get more projects.
Yeah, happening.
So yeah.
Let me just look. I'm looking over Gold Derby just to see their odds and how it worked out. I'm going to toot my own horn. I did better than Gold Derby. So listen, follow us.
Nice.
We will not lead you astray, except
some of them.
Your name is Austin Butler.
Old-fashioned over there.
I love that. I've never seen this. All Quiet was 4th for production design in their odds.
And that was the biggest surprise of any category, I think.
Yeah.
No, I thought I was going to have the biggest one was Jamie Lee, who was 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
Let's
see.
Yeah. I mean, Babylon swept that category though. No one swept supporting actress. Babylon not winning an Oscar. This is the thing. The Whale winning 2. Kill me.
It's crazy. This is the thing. I think it's tough because they've passed her over so many times. But I do think that Michelle Williams in the next couple of years could end up winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
I want it to be for Kelly Reichardt collaboration because they've been working together for so long and all their movies are so good. And Jack hasn't watched any of them probably, but
I feel like the list of women who have won, I'm sure any Oscar, but I feel like women who have won for female directed movies is low. like Charlize Theron in Monster,
Yeah.
and like what else?
Yeah, Frances
Frances
McDormand.
McDormand in Nomadland. Like it's low. It shouldn't be that low. But that's
Very
might.
That's all I
true.
can think of.
I also think Barry Keoghan or Keown or however you say his name.
Keegan.
Keegan.
One of those.
Kogan. Barry K. I also
He
think
should. He's a really good actor.
Well, he's gonna be in
I-
Saltburn next year by Emerald Fennel.
yeah.
Once again, he is young though.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
to me, he reminded me a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, as far as this
Yeah.
like very bold, like so easily could have fallen off the rails type of performance, but he manages to find the heart of it. I think he
he's
could do.
Best performance in that movie, to be honest. If I had to pick
It's
one,
a good
I would
movie.
go Carrie. But
she would be my number 2. It's very close between them.
Yeah, I love them all. It's hard to pick. Jenny the
Yeah.
Donkey, that was a nice surprise to see.
That was a good bit too. The cocaine bear bit was good. I think Julia Louis.
Was that
was
the
a
real
funny
Jenny?
presenter. It wasn't. No, they said so.
I will
Yeah.
say though, because we have Angela Bassett up on our screen,
Oh yeah.
she could Viola Davis's situation where Viola Davis was the front runner for The Help, lost to Meryl Streep, and then when she got Fences, I think it was just
She just needs the opportunity. Is all.
yeah. I think
Hollywood
she,
is not great at giving women of color.
I think
these
what the thing with
opportunities.
Angela Bassett has always been that she did kind of. I feel like she wasn't like she's not. She doesn't always make these type of movies, and I think maybe Black Panther hopefully got her. People
No, she
realize,
doesn't, like,
oh
work
yeah,
every
Angela
year.
Bassett, we love her. Hopefully this opens a door for her. I could see her. She could Jimmy Stewart the situation, and in a couple of years be like, so sorry, here you go, or like the Leonardo
Mhm.
DiCaprio, so sorry for McConaughey.
Yeah.
Here's the Revenant. She could have her Revenant. I do think it's possible.
Yeah, I think she would be up there. Farrell, I think also.
Also, okay, okay, Alex. Austin Butler's 31. He isn't that young. Okay, listen. Okay, I hold up.
Yeah,
hold up.
yeah, he's not as young. When I worry about being young, I mean there's a 2 in front of your name. Although Barry Keoghan is much older than I think he looks. I think he's also in his 30s.
He just turned 30.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, we talked about Austin Butler being young. I think in the end, what moved us away from it, if the Whale was a Best Picture nominee, if just the Whale was not a Darren Aronofsky movie, I think it would have been very clear. It was just that the Whale was divisive. We thought it was a Mickey Rourke situation where it was perceived as a comeback, but he was never ingratiated into the place in the first place. So they didn't have the same love for him that like kids of the 90s did for Brendan Fraser, and that they love Elvis the same way they loved Judy Garland and Freddie Mercury, and that was going to help them. I think
no, that was a lot of my reasoning, and no, Alex, I completely agree. It's the perception of how young you are, not how young.
A lot of actors look younger than they actually are. That's
which I think
for a lot of
but
actors.
I don't know. Like I just think it was because they just purely liked the performance by Fraser better, which we just didn't foresee. But I just honestly think Academy members because again they voted for the Whale and makeup, which was the big telling, because that showed me that like no, they just liked the Whale better. They liked the Whale more than we thought they did, and they like the performance more than we thought we did. And
and I think it shows in that category they do not care about hairstyling at all.
Yeah.
It's just makeup.
they really don't.
Yeah.
Also, Darren Aronofsky, I mean,
He's a good actor as director, I guess.
Natalie Portman, Brendan Fraser, Damien Chazelle has gotten 2. Quentin Tarantino has technically gotten 3, but 2 of those were for Christoph Waltz. So, I mean, Darren Aronofsky has proven to be, if you want a meaty, very bold
The Daniels
movie,
have gotten 3.
That's crazy in one night.
Oh, I had a question too. Do you think the Daniels are going to be like Jordan Peele, where everything they make after this, people will be like, is this going to be an awards contender?
You know what?
And then it isn't.
I think that they're going to take like an 8-year break or something. Like, I think we aren't going to see a movie from them for a while. I mean, you think about Bong Joon-ho. He took like 5 years off before
a big break.
But remember, Bong Joon-ho had a pandemic in the middle of it too.
That's
fair, but I feel like he would have waited anyways. Like, I feel like the Daniels are going to take their time, because like you don't make the biggest above the line winner of all time and then make something again 2 years afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean it's a high standard.
And just going back to, because we still have to comment on, Eddie Redmayne, I believe, was the same age when he won.
As Austin Butler,
I believe, because he's 41 now, so he was in his like
early 30s.
He was around that age group. So, and he was going up against a veteran comeback type of performance.
Yeah, when's Michael
Should have
Keaton gonna get
won.
his Oscar?
Don't get me started.
Yeah. They mixed it up. They got
another
it wrong.
another good actors director, Michael Showalter, won an
he is. Yeah.
won actor an Oscar and an Emmy within a year.
Oh yeah. I was like,
He is.
did Sally Field win for Hello, My Name is Doris?
No. Yeah, because it was
Great movie. If you haven't seen Hello, My Name is Doris, watch it today. All Quiet on the Babylon Awards. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, as I said, Babylon is the Blade Runner of this season. In a couple years, hopefully down the line, people will see. It's. I think that's a movie that it really hurt because I think people were expecting it to be a love letter to cinema, and it is. It's just a hate letter to Hollywood at the same time. And I think people, it's too much whiplash to do it.
What a pun! What a pun!
Too much. It's too much whiplash, and I think when you don't know what the movie is and you're struggling to figure it out, especially a movie that fast, I think it hurts. And normal people aren't crazy like us, where we watch these movies so many times and like analyze them. Because I saw somebody mention this on Twitter. Oscar voters are not like necessarily all cinephiles. They don't study movies in the same way.
That's why I look to my parents to see what's going to win.
That's why I switched The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, because my mom was like, I got an email about that, and I'm like, how are you getting emails about The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse?
No, that was. I mean, my parents loved Coda, and I was like, okay, I'll predict Coda. Like, maybe Coda's happening. Like, they liked everything ever. They hated Banshees. I moved away from Banshees. Like, it's the parents are right. The parents are right.
Parents are helpful.
Yep.
Of course, Joaquin. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We do have some Fraser love out here. I think that is pretty much everything. I agree. Wasn't big on the Whale. A tie. If I would have given a tie, it would have been Blanchett and Yo personally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But also yes, but I do think it would have taken away from what Yo's win.
It would have.
Honestly, you know what I would have liked? A tie between like Stephanie
Shu and Jamie Lee.
That would have
been real bad for Angela Bassett.
And then it would have won all 4. It would have won 4 acting awards.
It would have. That would have been madness.
Yeah, we should mention the first movie. I love that we said we were wrapping this up like a half an hour ago. The first movie to win picture and 3 acting awards, because Network and Streetcar Named Desire did not win Best
6
Picture.
above the line Oscars. The first movie to win 6 above the line Oscars. And honestly, I don't think anything's ever going to beat that. A movie would have to win all 4 acting categories: picture, director, screenplay. That's never going to I shouldn't say never, but like for a movie to win all 4 acting categories as well as picture, director, screenplay, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's it's Dune Part 2. It's gonna Rebecca Ferguson.
We can only dream.
Austin Butler for supporting actor.
But like no, like I mean, it's insane. I don't know if anything's ever going to be able to beat that above the line record. It it joins a Streetcar Named Desire Network as the only movies to win 3 acting. Like
neither of those won picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What if a movie is original and adapted and it can win 2 screenplay categories?
Their rules for adapted screenplay are so weird, so who knows?
Based on characters created by Rian Johnson, Glass Onion,
Top Gun Maverick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we have ignored the Costume Designers Guild for picking Everything Ever Over?
I mean, in hindsight, we should have ignored it, but I don't think that there's any reason to say that we should have ignored it.
Because, well, to be fair, didn't the Costume Designers Guild go with Jojo Rabbit, and then Little Women still won the Oscar? So I feel like the Costumers Guild might be the least trustworthy as far as crossover.
I think they're also the smallest branch of the Academy, so you have to remember that this is everyone voting on it. It's not just that specific.
Critics' Choice is actually the most statistically correlative. Guess what won Critics' Choice?
Yeah, Black Panther. Also, I think the best in the category, so I'm happy about it.
I would like to see Babylon, but that's just me.
Mary Zacharias is one though, right?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I think she
didn't win for La La Land, but I'm sure she's won.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Speaking of Babylon, here's some Babylon love. Calvin and Robbie.
Yes.
Oh,
agreed.
We should mention it. Maybe this can wrap us out.
Yes, we can.
I'm trying. We're all tired, so I keep trying.
Yeah,
and
we're at like 38 hours of no sleep for.
I do love our conversation. I don't want this to seem like I'm trying to wrap us.
No, we've been going for like almost. We've been going longer than women talking.
But do we think we should be leaning towards genderless categories in the future? What are we thinking here?
It's such a tricky thing. I
I would
don't know.
I would argue, yeah, but I still think that you should give up 4 categories. I think that you split between comedy and drama. I think you go lead comedy, lead drama, lead or supporting comedy, supporting drama. Because I think in that case, you're still able to give up 4 categories. I think just like, looking at it from the perspective of making a film, you're gonna find more difference in like the genre of the performance than the gender of the person making the performance.
I think
one concern.
I also think the fear of one gender will dominate. I don't think it's the case, because if you're asking me, I think if it was one category and you had all the people competing, I think your best actor would have been Michelle Yeoh and your best supporting actor would have been Ki Wei Kwan.
Yeah. But even if you did comedy and drama, Brendan and Michelle would have won, or it would have been Michelle and Kate for leading comedy and leading drama.
Yeah.
So that would have been the best outcome.
I think it's coming. I think the Tonys will do it first, given the queer community, of course, represented on Broadway. And once they show it's possible and that it works, I do think it's going to happen eventually. I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be like a reactionary thing where a non-binary actor
there's going to be a big non-binary
major contender, and it will push the doors through.
I don't think that we're going to see all male winners, but also if men all do give the best performances, then men just happen to give the best performances that year. I don't think that that's a bad thing.
But I wouldn't trust the Academy with giving the winners.
No, I agree, but I also don't think that would be that big of a deal.
But see, the thing is that what we fear is, I think this is it's the same thing that we fear with best directing, but proportionally, you get as many great female performances. I think we all agree there were more great female performances than male.
I think most years there's better.
So like the fear that the men would shut out the women like they do in directing, I don't think necessarily correlates to acting.
Right. I mean, if we're going to make the argument, you would be making the argument more in directing, if anything, which would be, I think, kind of stupid, because like we aren't separating the directing.
Directing should be 10 nominees too. I don't get why we have 10 screenplays and 10 actors, 10 supporting actors, 10 pictures. You should have 10 directors. It's ridiculous. It's still 5.
Then wouldn't it just be 10? The picture 10 most of the time?
Maybe not. Paul Bukowski would disagree with you.
Could meet in the middle.
Winterberg would disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it seems ridiculous, because that Sarah Polley would definitely been in that 10, and so maybe would Gina Prince Bythewood. Like all these contenders that people get mad about, which deservedly so for some of them, just expand to 10. It's not that hard. If you're gonna do 10 in every other category, do 10 in directing.
I don't know. As far as the genderless categories, I just think it is the way to, like, it's always just felt kind of dumb to me to split by like there is no difference as far as the gender of the person doing the performance.
Doesn't change the task, really.
Yeah, the thing that changes it the most to me is the genre of the the performance, which I think you can still hand out 4 acting Oscars. And yeah, like if you're thinking about it this year, Michelle Yeoh definitely would have won comedy lead, right? Drama lead.
Yeah.
Would have been either Brendan or Kate. Comedy supporting would have been Ki Wei Kwan, and then drama supporting might have been Angela Bassett or Carrie, or like
Carrie would have been comedy.
Carrie
would have been comedy. So like it probably would have been Angela Bassett. So you would have gotten Angela and Michelle, and then Key, and then either Kate or Brendan. So it's
you're describing this like a perfect world.
It sounds much better.
So we're either getting a 2-2 split between male and female, or like 3-1. So like it's I don't know. I just think
I don't
that
know about
like
a 6 spot either.
I mean, in theory, yes, but then there's going to be
only handing out 2 acting.
Only going to be the 7th person who was just on the line. You're always going to have somebody on the line.
Right, and then you're only handing out 2 acting Oscars, and I still feel like we stand out 4 acting Oscars.
One of my favorite things that was ever said in an Oscar monologue was Chris Rock, the year of Oscar So White, and one of his bits was, why do we have gender categories? This isn't track and field. You don't have to separate them. Robert De Niro's never said I need to slow my acting down so Meryl Streep can catch up. So
yeah.
So I feel like it's coming. I think within the next 10 to 15 years, we may see.
I think it'll take other bodies doing it before the Oscars for the Oscars to cave and do it.
Tonys will do it. Critics' Choice will do it.
I think the Globes. I think the Globes will do it.
I think
pretty
the
quickly.
Globes are definitely easy to succumb to stuff.
I think the Globes will do it within the next 5 years, like
To be hip.
to try to gain relevancy. But then I think that it will have a domino effect.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, make your own
Speaking of
award
which,
show.
we did
We did with Thomas too.
with Thomas as well. We came up with our nominations. You guys get to vote on the winners. Spoiler alert, unless
Yeah.
you have some terrible choices that we will veto because we are in control.
Are we going to reunite for that?
How to sell is that?
It's a democracy, but not completely, is what it is.
So,
a
like
democracy
every
with taste.
democracy, it's a democracy
every
in theory.
democracy. Yeah,
But not really.
we're just reflecting.
Nobody's
on our
showing
own
up to Capitol
country.
Hill on a Tuesday afternoon.
Exactly. That will be coming out very soon. We will reunite to go over the winners once everyone votes on it. I've been trying to
We'll
get
see you in June.
visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you in
it'll be
March for the
soon.
next Oscars.
I'm determined it will be before whatever the date was for the COVID Oscars. So there's that.
Okay.
So April
like April.
26th.
Okay, it will be definitely early.
I have that in my
It'll be like
mind
within-
because it's the day Avengers Endgame came out.
Okay.
I
It's
have
also
the
when I'm
box
seeing
office.
Screenplay.
I think I have the box
That's
office of To Leslie memorized. So we all have our things.
We all have our
How
things.
much is it?
It's like 27,322. I think. I don't know.
What
27,000.
box office is that? Is that to Leslie?
Yeah,
Doesn't it cost $20,000 just to submit your film to the Academy?
I think so.
They spent their money well.
They did, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's everything. Thank you all
Yeah.
for watching. I'll put the link in the description. You can go subscribe to Trevor over at Oscar Buzz, where Thomas will also be there. Plenty of other people and fun
And
stuff
Antony on
going
our
on.
most recent video is there.
And Antony and Sam. All fun stuff. It will probably be plenty of crossing of streams in terms of all of us. And Antony, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me here, of course. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Antony_post. You can find me on YouTube at Spoilers Ahead with Antony Post. You can find me. You know where I am.
Just look up Antony Post.
look me
And Trevor, outside of your YouTube channel, where else can they find you?
YouTube on Oscar Buzz, Letterboxd at my name, Trevor Matson, Twitter at TM Talks Movies, and in my bed sleeping.
Yes, that's a good plan. 38 hours. And you already are where I am, so if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. And my
Thank
Twitter
you, everybody.
is Oscar Film SC, I think. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And
Thank you for the award season.
Yeah, thank you for an incredible award season. Emmys 2024, plenty of fun stuff coming. We will see you all for all of that. So, see ya. How do you? Okay, there we go.